Today, we are continuing to learn about conflict and interpreting conflict in literature. So I want to talk about how setting affects conflict. There's three ways you can think about how setting would affect the conflict. So the first way, setting can bring its own conflict. The second way, setting can add difficulty to the conflict. Or third, the setting can change the nature of the conflict. So here's some examples of each three ways. So the setting can bring its own conflict, like in war. So World War II or any other conflict can be affecting the characters. Or the Great Depression, society, everyone's facing unemployment and struggling with money. Or it could be something like a natural disaster with a tsunami, or maybe an ice storm that people have trouble getting on the way. There's damage done, no electricity. So the setting can bring its own conflict. Another way would be maybe just being in a different country where you don't understand the language. That setting creates a conflict there. Setting can add difficulty to the conflict. So if your hero is trying to get to the top of the mountain and needs to climb the stairs, and these are the stairs, that adds difficulty to the conflict. Or if your conflict is playing a sports game and it starts raining really hard, that adds difficulty to the conflict. Or let's say you have a lot of homework and the conflict is a little more close to home, but the setting of your room and a TV and your favorite Pokemon show is on, that can add difficulty to the conflict. The next thing is that setting can change the nature of the conflict. So a parent and the child are arguing, but it's at home in their living room, so it's a little more freeing in how to express themselves. But let's say the parent and child are now arguing in a grocery store, and so the screaming and the looking, you also have the public looking on, and that it's not just a disagreement, it's a disagreement in public, and that changes the nature of how both those characters might feel or how they're going to react in that situation. Another example could be, let's say you are wanting to ask someone to prom, so you ask the girl when she's in her classroom, okay? So you still have maybe anxiety, not sure if she's going to say yes or no. That's the conflict in the setting. But let's say you are asking someone to prom and your crush is sick in the hospital. Okay, that changes the nature of the conflict. There are different issues here. Same problem. How do I ask this girl to prom? Different nature of the conflict. Okay, so again, these are three things to look for while you're reading. I hope that you can understand your books better now, seeing that setting affects conflict.